Hello guys, and welcome to a new Steel Division video today by me, Vulcan. Today I have for you a 3 versus 3 on Sainte-Mère-Église, and in this one I'm going to be playing the potent 716th Infantry Division. I'm playing with Haymaker and Dan Din on my team, who are going to be using the 17th SS Panzer Grenadier Divisions, and then I'm playing against Robert AM, Almighty Yal, and Peter Subs, who are going to be using the Guards Armoured and 15th Infantry Scots Divisions. So, this one was kind of very interesting in its own little way. It's not the most long replay, but I feel like it was definitely one worth showing. It's something that I really enjoy about the 716th, and there's always different ways in which the division can stand out, and in this case it was a completely different way. I won't go into it straight away because it will give the game away, but it was just really fun, and I hope to show it to you guys whilst I was playing, but I didn't manage to record it live, so that's unfortunate. Either way, here we are. I have some Fusiliers down, a couple of Osttroop and a couple of AT guns. I'm going to keep 2 AT guns on this right side. I worked out that generally in this position, if somebody came down here with a Stuart and the infantry at close range, your AT guns get sniped very, very quickly. And it's really hard to push through these hedgerows, especially if there's adequate fire support from the opponents. So on this map specifically, on this right side, you've got to be very careful about where your fire support is and how you use it, because all of your initial troops get funneled down this side. And if, for example, there was a 6th Airborne player with a Mosquito, you could just flame the road and it would absolutely kill half your units. But you can sort of branch them off over here and go put them through this sort of gap in the trees here, and just kind of push up on the left or just even further left, but that leaves you out in the open. So yeah, you're kind of confined to this sort of area. You just got to make sure you use this sort of area on the right properly when you're poking through this tree line to advance on this right side. That's basically what I'm being careful of here. I've got a mortar just to cover myself from enemy fire support. Then I have an MG going up to the centre here, sort of between the town and the right side. That's going to be followed up by a command infantry unit, an AT gun, and a recon squad. Now this is actually a Pack 40, and I chose to bring in the Pack 40 at the beginning of the game mainly because it's so open here, and the 1,200 meter range is really, really useful for that situation. I've also got an MG, Osttroop and command infantry going over to the right side of the town just to help Haymaker there, so that he can concentrate his forces in the centre of the town. I've dropped off my Pack 40 already. That's on an attack move, and that's going to be firing at the universal carrier there. I'm going to be unloading all of my infantry ASAP so that I don't take a shot from the enemy 6-pounder. But there goes the universal carrier. One of my Kubels does get destroyed, and that is my command infantry there getting... Actually, that was the MG34, sorry, getting taken out. So I do lose my MG34 early on, which was unfortunate, but this one's still firing away. Pins down the 6-pounder early on. Is going for the Vickers HMG now. On this right side, I've managed to unload my Pack 37s, and I'm just using my mortar to try and pin down these rifles as I move forwards with the Osttroopen. Now on this right side, I did actually forget my command infantry, so that was a bit of a mistake on my part, but fortunately I didn't get hit by anything too hard at the start of the game. Just a couple of rifles here. I took out the 6-pounder in the middle, by the way, with the HE value of the Pack 40, and this is just beautiful. I love the fact that this Pack 40 does have HE rounds, because it almost acts like an IG. It has quite high suppression, and it can really do some serious damage at range. And you can see here, MG34 is slamming the Vickers HMG with its machine gun, while I'm just firing at it with the HE rounds, and eventually we're going to get the kill. So that's 6-pounder and the Vickers HMG dead there, just because I have this Pack 40. Now this is the appropriate response, a Spitfire Mark 9, but instead of aiming for my Pack 40, it goes for my MG34. I'm not sure if that was quite because he lost line of sight of my Pack 40 or what, but ideally that bomber should have come in onto the Pack 40. It didn't, and the MG34 died. Although Pak 40 is firing away again, going to be aiming at that M5 half-track on this right side. Pak 37 is being caught out by some rifles, and I'm just trying to engage those with the Osttroop in there. Fusiliers are moving up into the trees, so I just want to find out what's on the other side. And I am going to be spotting a Stuart there. And one of the Bedford trucks coming down this road was destroyed, one of the rifle squads killed. Pak 40 is going to be slamming those rifles. So these Osttruppen and Grenadier are pretty much just stopped the rifles zooming down into the right side of the town. Here you can see the Pak 40s on target there. It's now got the 1-star veterancy from the Grenadier as well since it moved into range. So that's going to help out. Since my Osttruppen are struggling a little bit dealing with the rifles, I've brought up an IG-18, my favourite, just to help us pin down more of the squads and take them out. That's going to allow me to move up this Pak 37 to the tree line, so that if anything comes through here, like that Stuart, I can just take it out. Just about managed to make that rifle surrender before my Osttroop get pinned down. Unit of 1 rifles on the right side. Now I'm pinning down those Osttroop, and I've got to be careful actually, because that rifle could make the Osttroop surrender if you move towards it. But here comes the command infantry finally, after I realise, and Robert is going to try and make those Osttroop surrender, but I do fall them back in time. Over on the left side, the Pak 40 is still firing away, taking on those rifles still. Taking them down to 4 health now. 4 men left in that squad. IG-18 going to be finishing off the rifles on the right side. So that's broken me past the first tree line. Going to be spreading out, pushing into the second tree line. So if you haven't worked out already, this Pak 40 is a little special thing that I wanted to talk about in this replay. This Pak 40 did so much damn work. Just because it has HE value, it has 20 rounds, right? And it's used them all already. As you can imagine, it's yeah, done a lot of damage. So I brought up a supply vehicle. Didn't quite intend to pick it up straight away. Just wanted to reload it. But I was busy focusing on the right side to notice that happened too quickly. Here we go. Unloading it again. Get it back into position. Get the Opal Blitz munition to go where I want it to. And we'll carry on this right side. So I'm moving forwards the Pak 37s into the tree line to spot any vehicles coming down the right side. But I'm a little bit worried about the fact that there's a Cromwell here. And there's also now a Dingo coming up to provide some machine gun fire. Now I can pin down those rifles quite easily with my 50mm mortar. But as you can see, there is a lot more infantry than just that one unit. So I've actually decided to bring in an LEFH. Now it's not often that I bring these up, but they can provide some quite nice suppression onto opposing forces. And now, since I have my Pak 40 in position with the reload from the Opal Blitz munition, I can continue to hammer those rifles with the HE shells. Osttroop in the town from Haymaker actually just took out an AVRE, which was pretty damn good, as the town continues to just burn there. Sainte-Mère-Église always ends up as a bloodbath, but Haymaker Osttroop is continuing to move forwards and slaughter troops left, right and centre. Those rifles did manage to get up and take out the recon squad that Haymaker had on the right side, but now they're going to be suffering a fate of the Pak 40. Spitfire Mark 9 coming in to bomb out the Pak 37 there. Only kills the Pak 37, not the IG-18. That was okay. Again, as long as he's not hitting this Pak 40, I don't really mind too much, because the Pak 40 was really what was providing a lot of presence on this left side. And pushing the halfway mark well over for me. So that's 57% territory lead at the moment. Mainly thanks to this Pak 38 causing a bump here, salient in the line, and my Osttroop and doing the same on the right side. Still continuing to use my mortar as best I can. Fusiliers move forwards to try and provide me with some recon, but get spotted immediately, so forced to run away with them. And I've had all of my units sort of behind this tree line, because obviously I can't put them in the tree line or they'll get killed. But yeah, I just kind of need to move these guys back, honestly. Having them this close is a bit risky, because if all of the rifles come through, then I'm going to be in a bad spot. But I do have Ostroop in there to kind of help pin down some rifles should they come. And I've still got the artillery coming in from the LFHs. So a couple of AT guns again coming in. These are more Pak 37s to deal with the Cromwells and the Dingo and so on. Mighty Al in the middle has been obliterated by Haymaker in the town, so it is going to surrender. Spitfire almost going down there as well to the flank lane. Haymaker did a fantastic job in controlling this town. This one Stosstroop squad just went absolutely ham. Used up 3 of its Panzerfaust squads, killed off multiple infantry, and really did a fantastic job there. But I'm going to be focusing on my right side still. I could have probably tried to push forwards further with these Osttroopen, but this Pak 40 throughout the game just did so much work. Rifles there getting destroyed by one of the LAFHs. And as you can see, a lot of these units are getting pinned down, or at least having some sort of morale damage done to them. You can see some rifles charged by Pak 37s as I bring them up. And this is a move that I wouldn't necessarily recommend normally, but what I decided to try and do was like move up all my fire position or fire support at the same time, like both the IG-18s, both the Pak 37s on the left side with the one on the right side. But this rifle squad was just in the right position at the right time to like absolutely ambush like all of my units. Now I've brought up a Flak 88, and the idea with the Flak 88 is, again, to pick off the armor on the other side. I need something a bit more substantial that can sort of peek round and shoot units as I see them. So there, just unloaded it to help deal with the rifles quickly, but going to be continuing to move them to the right to unload. And that, for example, might be able to take out the Stuart up the road. So yeah, anyway, going back to the Pak move on the right side. Paks to the rescue in this one. They were trying to like move up through this tree line together, so that if I came across, like, for example, this Humber Mark III or the Cromwell, they could both fire at the same time. Yes, they were sitting on top of each other, which wasn't ideal, because obviously like a mortar fire could come in, or like a tank fires at it, and then it basically causes it to or both units to get stunned at the same time. But yeah, sometimes it's decent. Pak 37 gonna go down to the Typhoon AT. Sometimes it's decent to get like 3 AT guns just rolled through the tree line, and you can just like absolutely wreck all of the tanks on the other side. So I was lucky enough there that my Flak 88 hit the Spitfire, caused it to miss its bombs onto the Flak 88. So that's still full health, which helps out quite a lot. The SDKFZ just moved to this right side and put itself in a pretty dodgy position. Because HMG though going to be going down to the LAFH fire. And now we see the Pak 40 moving over to the right side. As what I want to do is help my Osttroopen move forwards here. As you can see, I'm starting to move them up just to push the front line as much as I can. W87 from Haymaker comes in, picks off the Stuart. There is going to be a Spitfire coming in though. And my Flak 88 is trying to do its best to get onto it. And there we go. Spitfire Mark 9 pinned down. J87 is going to live another day. I bring in an ME109 G6R6 to try and pin that down. Not today. Haymaker's Nebelwerfer has come over. That's going to be firing a lot of rockets in random locations. We're killing the 6-pounder up in the field over here, thanks to the Pak 40. And here comes a bunch of infantry down the road. They're all going to get unloaded pretty early on. Pak 40 is moving over to provide some fire support there. Basically, Haymaker brought over his Nebelwerfer to try and like assist me here, but you probably should have moved it down into this sort of area, because here it's obviously well out in the open. And I finally get a glimpse at what's behind the tree line. Ostrooping going to go down there. IG-18 is not going to last too long as it shows itself. So just literally trying to figure out how I can push past this tree line. Every time I'm doing this, it's costing me. And it's not the most efficient method of doing so, but I need to make sure I know what's there so that my strategy of using Flak 88s works out nicely. Yeah, the Kubel MG is going to go down there, and the Alpha Clara going to get shot at briefly. Actually, that was just taking out the SDKFZ further back. Dropping off Flak 88 there. Going to be dropping off the second one further behind. I'm just going to be getting those SDKFZs out of the way, and now I'm going to be rolling my Flak 88s around to take on the enemy armour. So if they're all spaced out and not together, then my Flak 88 should find targets one after another and kill them off. But here, Flak 88, boom, one shot, one kill. I'm mark 3 down. So I'm looking to do that with like every vehicle that I spotted on the other side. Then what I can do is just flood up infantry, take the tree line, and then move my fire support forwards. So I'm kind of using my Flak 41 like a tank right now. Again, another unit. Didn't kill it, but definitely forced it to fall back. They're just going to continue to do that. And ideally here, the artillery from the Sexton would be targeting my Flak 88. The Pak 40 still hammering rifles and units as they come up, as you can see. There's also an IG-33 from Haymaker now. And Haymaker's actually rushing over with some 222s. I've managed to get this Flak 88 over to the right side. Spitfire Mark 9 comes in to try and help out, but it's just going to be forced back by the Flak 88s. And as you can see, slowly but surely, a lot of the half-tracks and vehicles that we're here stopping me from moving into the tree line are getting cut to pieces by the Flak 88s. Haymaker's got a lot of 222s on the case as well now, so they're going to help pin things down as I continue to move forwards. Furthermore, we got the Ju-87 coming in again, but that's going to get hammered by a lot of anti-air, so not going to be doing too much. It was going for the Sexton, I believe. And yeah, finally we have broken through. Pak 40 here, as you can see, still doing its job. Still hammering away with its HE shells onto this infantry. And it's just basically making the AI's push here completely useless. But this can work in any way. Like, if they don't identify that this is an issue, the Pak 40 can just sit there all day, hammering away. And that is the beauty of this game. The Haymaker now coming up with some infantry. We just decided to double push the right side and break the back of Robert, since his player had surrendered. And there's not much point in pushing out of this town because it's pretty hard to. And over on the left side, well, Dandin was doing a fantastic job against Peter Subs, but Peter Subs here investing a lot of 25-pounders, and now they're coming under direct fire since he obviously neglected the ground forces by investing in so much artillery. And that is the simple way to counter artillery, is just push through because they have underinvested on ground forces. So that's another tree line broken through, finally. Going to be seeing the Pak 37 take out the Crusader AA there. And here goes my Werflammen. Going to be targeting the 25-pounder and the Sexton there. 25-pounder goes down. Getting rid of those 25-pounders and the Sextons is exactly what I need to do in order to maintain my Flak 88s on the field. And after that strike, Robert's going to surrender. Pak 40 is still firing away, as you can see. Still doing its job. I've got the Poblitz munition. I mean, it's used a quarter of its ammunition just resupplying the Pak 40 here. The Haymaker pushing forwards with his Pioneers and the Panzer Grenadiers. I'm just providing all of the fire support and this artillery. Brought up some supply so that I can keep this firing. This was firing for so long whilst we were waiting to make that big push. Alston there, making a wrong turn and revealing itself to all of these units. These Osttruppen, poor fellas, just constantly pinned down by multiple rifles, Churchills, Honeys, and so on. And Pak 40 is still very much alive, and as you can see, it's going to be hitting these Bren group hard. bringing in a couple of MU-109s assisted by a HS-129. Want to really take out this Sexton if I can. And since the Paulsons and so on got killed, I'm hoping that I'm able to get the HS-129 on target here. Here goes. HS-129 misses pretty much all of its shots. Spitfire Mark 9 comes in from the AI. But yeah, not going to do too much. Going to be chasing it with one of my MU-109 T0s, but not going to get in range in time, so that's going to get away with that. So now last player alive is Peter Subs on this left side. 25 pounder does take out a Stug there, which was a very nice kill for a 25 pounder. I'm not entirely sure how far Peter Subs is going to get against Dandin's Stug 4 there. My Flak 88 is still wheeling up. We just select them. You'll see that I've got them moving around to the right side here. That's literally to cover the road coming down on this far right side. Any Spitfires that are coming in at the moment are being pinned down. Rifle leaders being killed in the open. Flak 40 going absolutely ham here. Ostribin finally dying in the centre. But yeah, Flak 40 is doing so much work. AI not going to ever identify that that's an issue, so using that 1,200 meter range to the best of my ability, slamming infantry after infantry squad. There's a little bit of a push going on up here now. These Subs coming back at it and then trying to hold on. Ideally the Ostri would have been in these buildings so that when all of these units push forwards you could ambush them, but it's not too much of an issue. We have too much of the map to really mind too much at the moment. 71% territory lead causing us a +3. Going to be seeing my Flak 41 alongside the 2 Stug 3s from Haymaker pushing forwards. That poor AT gun just in the wrong spot right now. 6 pounder goes down. Flak 40 still firing away. All of these 222s busy getting reloaded here. LFH is still firing onto the infantry as they advance. Not much chance there. So yeah, my Flak 88's just all moving over to the right side, just slowly wheeling forwards as usual. I could have probably picked them up with my half tracks here, but at this point you're just waiting for the end of the game, so it doesn't really matter. I do have their Flammen ready and waiting to fire as well. Again, Spitfire's going to come up, get pinned down with 2 shots, and job done. Flak 40 takes out the Dingo there. Flak 37 is going to go down to the Crusader AA as it misses a shot. And another 6 pounder dead on the right side. And there you have it. That is game. So, after 20 minutes and 57 seconds, we are victorious. So this was a game that I think really showed the sort of struggles that you can have in terms of like breaking that tree line. I was kind of sacrificing a lot of units unnecessarily, and then I decided to bring in those Flak 88s to try and pick off the fire support moving round. And alongside the artillery, where I took out a lot of the rifles, it worked out quite nice in the end. So that was very nice. And that Pak 40, what an absolute hero! It just did so much work in this game. 1,665 kills to 510 losses. Haymaker also doing a fantastic job there. Dandin holding on the left side and gaining us a lot of ground. But I think just took a lot of damage from Peter Subs later on when he invested in a lot of armor. But here we have the kills for the Pak 40. As you can see, it did a lot of damage. It took out Universal Carrier, Honey Stewart, Churchill 7, multiple rifle squads, 6 pounders, all sorts of stuff. It's over a page. Look at that. Lovely stuff. A lot of this would have been AI possibly throwing it at me, but these 2 6 pounders, for example, definitely not AI. And Flak 88s here, they also did fantastic as always. I love the Flak 88 simply because they seem to always pay themselves off if you use them correctly. And yeah, Robert trying to use the Cromwells and so on. It's just not working out for him. And we see the 6-pounders going down there to that Flak 88, so that pays itself off. Wertheimer taking out the 25-pounder, again pays itself off. LEFHs didn't get many kills themselves, but definitely helped pin down a lot of the rifles so that I could finish them off with other units. And there you have it. A little bit of teamwork from myself and Haymaker on the right side, along with that Pak 40 and Flak 88 combo. And you have the victory. So thanks for watching, hope you enjoyed it, and I'll see you in the next video. Goodbye.